Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please put your hands together for the host of Brant TV, Mr. Anderson.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 7 of Brant TV. I'm your host, Mr. Anderson, and we have some fun and exciting guests today. So first, we're going to start off and just check in with some of our viewers. I'd like to give a shout out. I see a whole bunch of people watching already. Hello, Mackenzie and Maria and Harnoor. Good morning, Ainsley and Ravi. Hi, Chrissy. Hope everyone's having a great start to the day. Oh, look, you're all chatting with each other. That's really nice and saying hi. You'll notice down at the bottom of the screen, we have a scrolling ticker today. It says Brant's Got Talent. Send your videos to Mr. Anderson by Monday. And we're going to come back to that in a bit. But that's something that we're going to be talking about. Brant's Got Talent is very exciting. And there's some stuff coming up. So, look, Mrs. Anderson says hello to everyone. He says, hi, Brant Bears. Oh, thanks, Mrs. Anderson. And hello, Dylan. Hey, Auntie and Sterling. Hey, how's it going, kids? Nice to see you tuning in. And we've got a good morning from Mrs. Park. Oh, that's super. Okay, so listen, our first guest today, we're going to start off with a Check This Out segment. And this is a really cool Check This Out this week. So I'm going to invite on the lady that you know as Miss King. We know her as Miss King. It's Miss King.
Yay.
Hey.
Hi.
How's it going?
I think I'm going to go with the Tiger King from now on.
Ooh, so? Nice. I like that. So yeah, welcome, Miss King.
Hi, Brant Bears. I'm happy to be here. I have a lot to say today, so I'm going to get started. In the last few months, my grade 3-4s have been working really hard learning at home, and they've been learning about the Indigenous people of Canada. So we've learned about the first people who lived in the Eastern Woodlands, which is where Guelph is today. And because coming up on the weekend is Indigenous Peoples Day, I thought that I would start my segment with a land acknowledgement. Is that okay?
Yes, for sure.
All right. So I wanted to say that this land that we live on has been known as Turtle Island by the Indigenous people who have lived here for thousands of years. Long ago, the Mississauga people, and before them, the Neutral people, lived here on this land that we call Guelph. And when we live, work, and play here, we're all connected. We're connected through time and through space and through the land that we live on. So I've been feeling a little lonely here without you, Brant Bears. But I was reminded when thinking of this land acknowledgement that even though we're apart, we are all connected together because we're here on Turtle Island. And so I think that's a really special thing to think about if you're feeling lonely, that we're all here connected. Maybe on the weekend for Indigenous Peoples Day, we can get outside, put our feet in the grass and feel connected with the land and with each other.
Nice.
Okay, so that's my land acknowledgement. I would like to start my segment with a little backtracking. So way in May, I went back to the school to gather up the students' things. And I walked into my classroom and it was like walking into a time capsule from February and March. And in February and March, we had been learning about Black history because February is Black History Month. And we had been doing some study, some reading. We had been learning about the civil rights movement and really important people like Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks and all that they did to fight for the rights of Black people way back in the 1950s and 60s. And we know that today in the world, Black people are still struggling against systemic racism. And so we had been talking about that in our Google Meets in class. And so this month, I decided to take a look at something called anti-Black racism in Canada. And I decided to do that by looking at some different media texts. So I went on my computer and I Googled Kids CBC News. And that's a website where you can go and learn a lot about the news, and it's through the lens of kids. So you get to read the news as it's reported by teenagers and kids like yourself, which is a pretty cool place to go. When I was reading there, I read some different articles that I thought I would like to share with my class, and I found a cartoon that I wanted to share too. So we did some reading together, and the kids did some really important reflections, and then they did some work for me, and I wanted to share that work with you today. So Mr. Anderson has a slideshow of some of the work my kids have done, and I thought we'd share that with you now.
Okay, here we go. It worked.
Perfect. Okay, so this is some work by a student in my class who did some digital art for me. And then following this are some t-shirts and stamps that the students in my class designed that have an anti-racism message. So we're going to take a look at those. This is a t-shirt done by one of my students. You can see it has lots of words and pictures on it that relate to our message.
And do you want me to keep going through?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me if you need me to stop or slow down or...
Yeah, this is a stop racism message as well. So you can see that this student has taken an image that they found and then added some words to it. Here's a nice picture of a policeman and a Black man standing together, shaking hands, and the idea that we need to stand together. And this one is one of my favorites. It says, stop being racist, be more loving. And it shows two people just hugging. And this one has a really amazing statement on it. Down with racism, up with equality.
Wow, there's some really profound messages here for grade 3 and 4 students.
I was really honored by their work. I was really impressed with what they were able to do and bring out of some of the things that we talked about. So this is a student who designed a stamp. She actually did this artwork herself. This is a digital art piece on Donovan Bailey, who was an Olympic athlete.
Oh, yes, I remember Donovan Bailey.
Mm-hmm. And then they also designed some coins and $100 bills with images of important Black Canadians. So here's one. Oh, here's another with a two holding hands.
Nice.
And then this is Josiah Henson.
Okay.
And I think this is Rosemary Brown. So she was a woman who was the first Black woman in the Canadian provincial legislature.
Yeah, Mrs. Hessler says, wow, I'm really impressed, 3s and 4s. Yeah, I am too.
Yeah, as I said before, I was really honored by the work that they did. They really took this seriously. And they showed that they can be allies and advocates for the Black community, which is so important.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very important message. Thank you, Miss King.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Oh, and look, Maria just said the one with Josiah Henson was mine.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
One of those t-shirts was Maria's too. Yeah,
that's awesome. Thanks, Maria. All right, well, Miss King, thanks so much for coming on today and sharing your students' really impressive work. And I hope we'll see you again on Brant TV soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks so much, Miss King. That was fantastic. I want to go back. I see there's a bunch more people that have joined in, and we have a special guest here. I'm pretty sure Aliza is here, and it's her birthday. So a big shout out to her. Happy birthday, kiddo. I know we talked on the phone a little while ago, but I noticed that you logged in here and you're watching Brant TV. So we have other birthdays as well. Happy birthday to Weston, and happy birthday to Spencer. So, boys and girls, at this time, we are going to go and see our nature correspondent. And this week, we have a new nature correspondent. She is out in the wild areas somewhere near Guelph or Fergus or Elora, somewhere. We don't even know. She is a nature correspondent out in the wild. So please welcome nature correspondent, Mrs. Garvey.
Hey. Hello, Brant Bears. How are you today? I am in a Boyne.
I'm doing great.
Good. I'm glad. So, Mr. Anderson, I heard you say you didn't know quite where I was. So I'm in a Boyne, which is right in between Fergus and Elora.
Okay.
So if any of our students on a field trip or maybe with their moms and dads have gone to the Wellington County Museum, we're just across the road in the forest there before you would get to the Grand River.
Okay.
So there's a beautiful
I know where you are.
trail right there. Yeah,
nice.
So we really like this trail. We've been coming about once a week since we've been home with COVID-19. So it's been really neat to see how spring has come up. Hello, Sterling. It's nice to hear you or see you kind of. When Mr. Anderson said you were on here, I said, oh, yay, it's Sterling and Antia. So that's exciting because I know how much Sterling loves to be outside. Hello, Sarah Maria. I know how much Sarah loves to dig for worms. So we do that sometimes here too.
Nice.
So we've noticed a lot more green the last few weeks that we've been here. Since we got more rain and more sunshine, a lot more plants are here. So it's pretty exciting. My kids are just kind of wandering around and having fun, which is great. It's really not busy today, which is nice. So they're just out exploring. They like to climb on the fallen trees. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. We have a couple rules when we come to the forest that might help some of the other parents. One I talked about last time is that when we hold on, I'm just getting my daughter up on a log. She likes to pretend they're horses and ride the log.
So we're having some connection issues. This is one of the challenges of nature correspondence.
That's one of our favorite activities. So one of our rules is when we see other people, we get together. And then when we're at a Boyne, there's a trail that goes really, really close. Oh. Okay. Any better?
Yes.
Any better?
It's a bit better. You're pretty delayed. That's okay. Keep going.
Alrighty, guys. Let's go closer to the road, okay? So they can hear us. Is it any better, Mr. Anderson?
So, Mrs. Garvey, you're kind of, it's quite delayed and it's sort of choppy.
So we go down when we, okay, we're going to go closer to the road.
All right. So I'm guessing that Mrs. Garvey, the nature correspondent today, is on a cell phone out in the woods. So she's just going to get a bit better cell reception. But look at the beautiful trees behind her. And it looks super sunny and nice out there. Today's a nice day for everyone to try to get outside and get some fresh air. Look at all those trees. And those of you who are our viewers that are watching us, William, hello, nice to see you. I know you're saying hi probably to Mrs. Garvey. And I know she was your teacher, not this past year, but the year before.
How about now? Are we any better now?
Yeah, much, much better. Very clear.
Okay. I'm much closer to the road now. So we're still good, but there's still lots of spots where we can explore. So I am going to hang out kind of here and let my kids run around.
Nice.
So, yeah. So yes, William Clark used to love being outside. I remember when we went on our field trip, he found a dead frog, and none of us were surprised that it was William Clark who found the dead frog.
Nice.
So when we went on our field trip, buddy. So you guys can go explore over there. Just stay close enough so I can see you, okay? And one of the tricks that I find with my kids is I make sure they wear bright clothing when we come to the forest, especially now when there's so much more green and it's harder to see them. So
yeah, when we go for hikes, my wife makes me wear bright clothing so that she doesn't lose me. So I know how that feels.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Do you wear that Hawaiian shirt that you like to wear to school?
Sometimes, yes. It is very bright.
Well, that's good. It is very bright.
Yes.
Mr. Anderson has a Hawaiian shirt. So I'm wondering if any of the kids have any questions, or Mr. Anderson has any questions.
Well, Allison Taylor was kind of sad about the frog.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but frogs do die sometimes, and that's kind of part of the circle of life out in nature. But a lot of people are kind of saying, oh, like Ravi said, this is cool.
Yeah. So we actually found when we were at the Elora Gorge yesterday, and we saw a lot of tadpoles in the water. So again, with the whole the circle of life and the life cycle of a frog, we had lots and lots and lots of tadpoles. So
Mrs. Pie Clifford has a question. Are you seeing any trilliums?
Not here, Mrs. Pie Clifford. I see lots of wild phlox, but I have not seen any trilliums on this trail. I do see some on the Speed River Trail in Guelph.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I haven't seen any trilliums here.
Mrs. Garvey, do your kids know how to ride bikes yet?
They do. So Joshua actually had to get, thank you, buddy. You guys go have fun, okay?
I wanted to do a trick.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Joshua got a brand new bike. He had outgrown his other bike, so we had to get a new one. And then Ember got one this spring, and she's just mastering the whole idea of pedaling. So it's still getting that kind of, we go around and around and around. She just kind of wants to walk, so her foot keeps coming off. But she's getting better each time we come. So trails on the bike, we're okay on the Cataract Trail, which is just gravel and flat, but not in a forest like this with roots and ups and down.
Right. A little more challenging.
Not quite.
Well, listen, nature correspondent Mrs. Garvey, thank you so much for joining us this week on Brant TV. It sounds like you guys are having a great time. And I really appreciate you coming on and being our nature correspondent this week.
No problem.
Okay. Well, we'll talk to you later, Mrs. Garvey.
Week. Bye-bye.
Bye. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was a lot of fun. And I see people here. It looks like Sir Hari says he has tadpoles in his backyard. Well, that's pretty cool. I had dandelions in my backyard, and I got rid of those. And some people are saying, Maria's saying, bye, Miss Garvey. So, boys and girls, next up here, I would like to talk about Brant's Got Talent. And so, check this out. That's this. Brant's Got Talent. As you know, we all know that Brant does have talent, and people have started sending me their videos for Brant's Got Talent. And let me tell you, it has been amazing. Already, we've had some fantastic things coming in. So ticker at the bottom as a reminder, if you have any talent at all, if you have, so far, I've seen, we have a singer coming on. We have a figure skater. We have someone playing the piano. We have someone playing, I think it's a trumpet. I'm not quite sure. It's really exciting. There's a dance involved. We have, tons of different things going on Brant TV already. And I know that there's more videos out there. So please send them to me. You can email me your videos. If they're too big, just let me know, and I can actually send you a link so that you can upload them to the server directly, which sounds complicated, but it's actually not. So I know Brant's Got Talent, and I know there's people out there that want to submit. So whatever your talent is, whether it's juggling or playing the guitar or eating pudding without a spoon, or if you've learned to whistle, or if you can bottle flip and you want to show that on a video, these are all talents. Brant's Got Talent. You've seen the talent that the staff have, and you are welcome to submit anything you'd like. Because Brant's Got Talent, you're going to send me the videos. I'm going to put them together, and then next week on Thursday is our year-end assembly. That's right. We're going to have a year-end assembly right here on Brant TV, but notice on the ticker below, it's Thursday, June 25th. Instead of next Wednesday at 11 a.m., it's next Thursday, because that would have been the last day of school. Technically, it is kind of the last day of school. So we're going to have a year-end assembly. And at that year-end assembly, we're going to have a chance to watch Brant's Got Talent, the final show. And we're also going to have some special guests come on. We're going to do some year-end stuff like we normally would do at our year-end assembly. And it'll be a great chance for us to see everyone for the last time and to get some year-end messages out there. Also next week, grade sixes already know about this, but they have their year-end celebration just for grade sixes. It's going to be next Tuesday night. And it's it's a special episode of I guess it's going to be on YouTube. I don't know if we're going to call it Brant TV or we're going to call it something a little different, but that's coming up Tuesday night for the grade sixes. Thursday at 11 a.m. there is a year-end assembly on Brant TV. And I just coming over here to see, yes, that's right. Maria, it can be anything on Brant TV. You can do anything you'd like. Allison said on the weekend she made a garden. Allison, send me a picture of your garden that you made. That's a talent right there. You can be on Brant's Got Talent. And what else do we have? Yeah. So these are all things that I'd love to see anything creative. And I know the bar was set high when we saw Mrs. Anderson and her nose whistle, and that was incredible. So if Mrs. Anderson can do that, then I think that you can do anything you'd like on Brant's Got Talent. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I think this is coming up to the end of our show. I had one guitar song I was going to play for you. And if anyone has anything they want to jump into the chat, any questions, I'll play a quick song, partly maybe to inspire people for Brant's Got Talent. Remember, this is my guitar. Yes. So I think some of you might have heard this song before. I've been working on it again lately. Desmond has a barrow in the marketplace. Molly is a singer in the band. Desmond says to Molly, girl, I like your face. And Molly says this as she takes him by the hand. Now, if you're at home, you can sing along because it goes like this. Oh, blah-dee, oh, blah-da, life goes on, brah. La, 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 life goes on. Oh, blah-dee, oh, blah-da, life goes on, brah. La, 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 life goes on. Oh, look, we got a nice comment there. Hey, thanks, Maria. And look, Mrs. Anderson says, when you share your talents, it makes people smile. It's so true. Sometimes when I sing, my wife smiles and laughs, and I think it's making her happy. Also, she is helping me become a better singer by staying in tune, which is something I'm still learning. I'm going to sing another verse. Desmond takes a trolley to the jeweler's store, buys a 20-carat golden ring, takes it back to Molly waiting at her door, and as he gives it to her, she begins to sing. Oh, blah-dee, oh, blah-da, life goes on, brah. La, 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 life goes on. Obla-dee, obla-da, life goes on, brah. La, 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 how life goes on. There we go. That's by a band called The Beatles, and it's called Obla-dee. So, Maria, you were asking about that. What's the song called? It's called Obla-dee, Obla-da, I think is the actual title. Yes, Obla-dee, Obla-da by The Beatles. It's a great song. Just looking through here. Yes, Mrs. Moyer. Oh, and Ainsley says she loves the Beatles. Yes, me too. I like the Beatles a lot. Thanks, Allison. I'm really glad you like that song. So, boys and girls, at this time, hold on. I'm going to go over here to bring back our episode 7 banner, and I'll turn this off. Look at all this high-tech wizardry I'm working on here. At this time, I see a few people have asked about the kindies and the kindy graduation, and stay tuned. I'm going to talk to Mrs. Bond and Mrs. Garvey and Miss Zorzi and Miss Marks and Miss Luxoma, and we're going to find out what's going on for a kindy kind of end of year celebration. Oh, that's really nice, Allison. Your dad loves that song too. Oh, very cool. So I'm going to bring back Miss King, and we're going to say, and I think our nature correspondent is no longer with us. Her cell connection got broken up, and I think she's off looking at tadpoles. But from everyone here at Brant TV, thank you for tuning in this week. Thanks, Miss King, for joining us and sharing that fantastic work. On behalf of everyone here, we want you to be safe and take care. Bye, everyone. Obla-dee, obla-da, life goes on, brah. La, 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 how life goes on. All right. See you later.